Okay, so I'm now seeing sort of this trend with people who want to say that they're like red pill. They're like red pill adjacent, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be actually associated
Taste
with the
brothers, right?
red pill. Yeah, for instance, like I think it's interesting that like Andrew and Tristan were very, very deeply involved in sort of like for more or less, the stuff that I've written in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but putting it out there and make it broadcasting it in such a way that it was part of their own personal brand. And
Yeah,
now it's like they want to disown all of that, and we don't want to be a part of that
absolutely.
anymore. And so now it's about traditional values, and now it's about conservatism, and now suddenly they're family guys. And I can remember a time where I was like run up the flagpole because I've been married for coming up on 27 years.
Yeah.
I've got a kid who's 25 years old, and a lot of the people that I
Wow.
know are also married, or else they are in family or in situations right where they have that. And people were just shitting all over them. And now suddenly everybody wants to be a family man, and that's okay. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I've been that way for going on 25,
Yeah.
27 years right now. Now I'm the asshole, and you guys aren't the
Yeah.
asshole. So when I see stuff like that, I kind of have to like bite my lip and just say, okay, it's just part of the game. It's just part of the branding. It's just part. We're going to make a pivot. So now we're going to be family men. Now we're going to be. Now we're going to say, well, we like the red pill, but we only like these certain
Muslims now.
parts of it. Yeah, we only like these. It's pick and pull red pill.
Yeah.
We like this part and we like this part, but the rest of it we don't want to have anything to do
Yeah.
with that. And because it's not on brand for their own personal brands, the brand of me. In my fifth book here, I talk about that quite a bit. Is like everybody right now is their own personal brand.
Absolutely.
So if you have you're a 10-year-old kid and you have an Instagram account, you're your own brand. I'm going to quote Robert Kiyosaki here for you.
Yeah.
Robert Kiyosaki says, if you're not a brand, you're a commodity.
Facts.
And so right now, when people go on Instagram, even if they're just putting their pictures on there and their dog pictures and their family vacation, you're still presenting yourself in some way as a loose brand. Influencers are their own personal brands.
Absolutely.
And so what happens is when your personal brand is about a particular thing, it's about like conservative ideology, or maybe it's liberal ideology, or maybe it's the red pill, maybe it's anti-red pill, maybe it's something else, like the black pill doomers, whatever. If you pivot away from that, you're taking a big risk on rebranding yourself because you have your ego that is involved in that branding. So when people need to make a pivot out of what was very successful for them at one point, which is in this case the manosphere, and now they're seeing the writing on the wall, and they're saying, that's probably not going to be a really cool thing to be coming up in the next 18 months because we're going to go through this election cycle. And now the thing that's going to really build our brands is if we switch over to this culture war narrative, which I'm already seeing like on Tim Pool, and I'm seeing on Crowder, and some bigger like Daily Wire. And so all these guys who wanted to run these clips of say like whatever podcast or Myron and Fresh, now we never knew ye. We don't want to have anything to do with you guys anymore because we're going to be more about family values and everything else because that's what's going to play in the next 18 months.
Yeah, man. Listen, so let's speak about like folks that I think are making like that pivot, right? Well, the Tate brothers. Now, I didn't know like too much about the Tate brothers before 2022, 2021, right? So when Tristan Tate like comes out and say, "Don't compare me to those red pill dorks," like, what's your reaction?
Again, it's just it's rebranding is really what it's about. Because I've done shows with Tristan. I've done several shows with Andrew. I've done more shows with Andrew than Tristan. The last time I was with the both of them together was on Fresh and Fit back in December of 2021. And my good friend Justin Waller is very tight with them as well.
I love, bro. I love Jay Waller.
You need to get Justin in here,
please.
as well.
I love him.
But he, he's very tight with them as well. I can text him right now. I got the number, but it's to me anyways. It's more of what is going to be on brand for the new version of these guys. What's going to be on brand for the next 18 months? What are people going to be about? I will give them this. They will keep their finger on the pulse of what's going on, sort of in social media and what the cultural, societal, like in global societal narrative is going to be. And honestly, I kind of see that as sort of this. Again, it's pushing away from the parts that they didn't like and sort of keeping as pick and pull red pill. So when we say, well, we don't want to be affiliated with those guys, that's exactly what I've just been saying. It's like, it's when you look at, say, Andrew and Tristan, I kind of expect that from them. I understand. I know who they are, and I like the guys quite a bit.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at people who have sort of built their name like within the last 6 or 8 months, maybe even the last year,
Yeah.
built on the Manosphere, and now suddenly it's like, well, we're not really Manosphere, we're not really Red
Yeah.
Pill, we're just Red Pill adjacent. We'd like to have them on once in a while, kind of thing. But I think it's just sort of this gradual kind of sunsetting themselves out of the Manosphere so that they can move into something else. Because, like I said before, getting into that culture war narrative doesn't play well with spin more plates, right? It
Absolutely.
doesn't play well with dating non-exclusively. It doesn't play well with open on my end and closed on her end,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That I would love to say if I was to have Tristan and Andrew here, I would say, so do you still believe in the open on your end and closed on her end? Is that now still part of is that still on brand, or is
Yeah.
that not on brand anymore?
Of course.